It has been now over a year since the deadly EF3 tornado ripped through the town of Sulphur, Oklahoma. This summer, we met with several storm survivors to hear their stories. Today, we will hear from Camden Gray and how his family was able to outrun the storm, and Austin Thompson, who found himself in the direct path of the tornado.
He pulls me out of the cellar and he grabs my face and he says, "Emily, I need you to listen to me. Sulphur is gone. I don't know how bad it is, but Sulphur is gone."
April 27th at 9:20 p.m. Sulphur.
And we're dodging, I'm talking power lines and trees and bricks.
And the people that lived there changed forever.
I got a text message and it said that Austin was alive, but he was hurt.
Bedtime routines completely dismantled.
Something wasn't right. So we loaded the kids up and drove across town, went to a cellar, and by the time we got there, the sky had just turned green. It was eerie.
The tornado was less than 3 miles away from the Grays, ripping downtown to shreds.
I had to wake my buddy up because he, was had to work really early in the morning. He was already asleep. I remember he yelled out that we had to go straight to the shelter, and I was maybe 15 feet behind him.
But it was too late.
I went out the door, and when I looked out the alley, I could see what just looked like a moving wall of gray. And it didn't take me more than a second to realize that it was a tornado.
Alone and with nowhere to go, Austin Thompson braced for impact.
So eventually it just felt like I got knocked down, smacked down from the debris, and it felt like a wall fell on me. And I tried to get back up as quickly as I could.
The tornado left the ruins of downtown behind and headed toward the Grays family home, barely missing the storm shelter they were in just a mile away.
And then it was just that notorious train. You could hear it. It wasn't on us, but it was here, and we could tell it was here.
The storm passed, and victims of the tornado were left to face their new reality.
And about the time we opened the cellar to start pulling all the kids out, I get a text message come through from one of my employees, and it's like, "Hey, the east side's been hit." I was like, great. I looked at my wife and I was like, "Hey, look, stay calm. East side town's been hit."
My friend was eventually able to come out and help me up and pick some stuff up off of me, and gave me a hand and helped me up. We went inside and hugged because it felt like forever. We didn't know if we were each okay, and it was like a breath of fresh air to see that everybody was all right.
Austin Thompson still in shock, unaware of the extent of his injuries.
So I had a good gash right under my chin, 2 fractures in my neck. They said I broke my nose, but it never really hurt too bad. But my breathing is a little affected, so maybe I did. And just a bunch of cuts all over, abrasions. I was in so much pain I couldn't sit up or stand up.
Debris and downed power lines made it nearly impossible for anyone to navigate through the city of Sulphur. Camden and his wife decided to head back toward their house on the east side of town.
And we pull up and we're like, 4 walls, we're good. Our house is still here, we're okay.
Only to discover the nauseating truth of what could have been for their 3 boys, Ollie, Decker, and Shiloh.
And so we opened the doors to where our kids were laying not even 2 hours prior, and their entire ceilings had just fell in. Their beds were ruined, their toys were ruined, they lost everything. That was the most heart-wrenching part, was opening our kids' bedrooms and seeing that our kids had lost everything.
A year after the catastrophic storm that destroyed so much in its path, there is hope for the Grays and Thompsons. Camden, his wife Elizabeth, and their 3 boys were able to move back into their home in November, and Austin has made a full recovery from his injuries. While there are so many stories to be told from that night, there is one resounding piece of advice these folks have to offer.
Just have a plan, know what you're gonna do and where you're gonna go, and because having a cellar plan in order for us saved our lives.
Make sure you're actually prepared. You never know when it could happen. Your life could change the blink of an eye.
Such terrifying stories, but so fortunate that they're still here to share those and hopefully save lives in the future.
Yeah, nocturnal tornadoes, as we know, incredibly dangerous. All tornadoes are dangerous,
Right.
but especially at night and people going to bed, maybe they don't have all the ways to receive weather alerts. So much can change in an instant, and that's what we saw about a year ago.
Right, just knowing where to go, having a plan in place is so important and really could save your lives.